Here's your host, Dennis Rimmer.
Welcome back. Yet another edition of Talking Books and Writing and Stuff. Today we're talking about books and writing and debt collecting and stuff like that with Suzy Krause out of Regina. Suzy, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
This is great. So, Suzy Krause, you're based in Regina, but you didn't grow up there, is that right?
That's right. I grew up in Frontier, which is a little tiny village about 4 hours southwest of Regina.
Southwest. Now that brings me to Southwest Saskatchewan. Is that near Montreal?
About, a 30-hour drive, 40 hours.
Right. Now that's a common thing that happens, right? People from elsewhere come up and say, "Oh, you live in wherever. Do you know so and so? He works in Vancouver." No, we're in Saskatchewan. Oh, Saskatchewan, is that kind of near Quebec? No. It's hilarious.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, that's Suzy Krause we're talking with. Suzy, what's your morning routine? Do you have a daily morning routine of any sort?
Well, when my kids are in school, I have a very good routine of like waking up and getting my coffee and reading a little bit and then sitting down and just working until they come home from school. But right now we're in summer vacation, so I have no routine at all. It's just a gong show.
It's just a gong show.
Yeah.
Are they appropriate ages? They must be school aged, so right.
Yes, they're 8 and 11. So they are getting to the age where I can kind of kick them outside to play with the neighbors, and then I can get some work done during the summer too, but I could not do that when they were younger.
Okay, so your early years they were spent near Frontier, right?
Yeah. I lived there till I was 17 or 18 and then left and have not been back.
Was there a school there, or was the town big enough to have a school?
Yeah, we were, and we were the town that all the neighboring hamlets and villages, they came to us for school. So we were the big village of 200.
Oh, the big spot, right? So
yeah.
When you were growing up, did you read a lot, I imagine?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, I was such a bookworm. That's kind of what everyone remembers of me from high school, is just that I wanted to move my bed into the library, and I loved the librarian, and I read every single book in there, and yeah, that was my whole personality.
Do you have like favorite books or authors you remember from back then?
I was very into Nancy Drew and anything that had kind of a mystery in it. That was kind of what I liked to read, but we also had a really small library, and I just wanted to keep reading new things. So I read everything in there, I'm pretty sure. And then I read everything on my grandparents' bookshelves, which is also very much outside of my wheelhouse and age category, but I just read everything I could get my hands on.
So reading, of course, that's how a lot of us writers begin, with reading. When did you first start writing for your own pleasure, I guess?
Well, I was probably I think I was like 19 or 20, and a friend of mine was into blogging, and she kind of told me, you should start blogging. It's really fun. It was kind of, you write your diary and you put it online, and strangers can read it. And I thought that sounded terrifying, but she also assured me that it's very anonymous. And so I was like, that's kind of a fun way to get into like sharing my writing, but not feeling too much like I am bearing my soul to everybody. I can kind of feel anonymous. So I started blogging, and her promise was not super right on, because soon everyone that I knew was reading my blog and knew it was me. So there was no anonymity. But I think that was actually really good for me. I don't think I would have gone into it knowing that people were going to read my stuff if I put it online. But yeah, so I just blogged for years and years about my life and about silly things that happened to me. And then soon somebody said to me, you should write a book. And so I did.
Oh, just like that.
Yeah.
Now,
pretty much.
You were a debt collector at one time, is that right?
Yeah, when I was probably around the same time as I started my blog, I was a debt collector for Capital One credit cards. And I worked in Saskatoon at the call center they have there.
So,
yep.
You phone people and make sure they pay their bill. Is that how that worked?
Yes, I wasn't going door to door with my telling people that they had to pay me, but I was I was over the phone, which was better for me. I'm not a very intimidating person.
No. Oh, I hate the telephone myself, but so what was the first book then?
Oh yeah, so my first book was called Valencia and Valentine, and it was about a debt collector because I think everyone, your first book is usually a little bit biographical. So I wrote what I knew, and that was that job, which was the strangest job that I've ever had. And you got death threats and marriage proposals, and you met really strange people on the phones. You met really lonely people who just wanted to talk to you. And so, a book about a woman who falls in love with someone that she meets on the phone while she's collecting his debt.
Okay, that sounds, the typical kind of way to start a romance. I mean, why not? Online, like everything else these days.
Yeah,
Yep.
the first book was set before the internet, so that's kind of a different thing too.
And so what followed from there on? The first book was called what? Sorry, I Missed You?
The first one was Valencia and Valentine.
Valencia,
and then,
right.
Yeah, Sorry, I Missed You. And that one is about three women who move into a condo, and they all have the same mailbox, and they get this letter one day that is addressed to nobody, but it kind of is from someone who has ghosted someone, and they all have someone that has ghosted them, so they all think the letter might be for them, and so they stake out this coffee shop that's named in the letter and kind of get to know each other while they wait to figure out who's coming to meet them.
Sort of like a letter from three wives or three wives from way back in the old days. Maybe that was a movie. I don't know. You'll have to look it up.
Look that up.
Sure, look that up. What else you got to do, right? You only have two kids and a house to run and things like that, so you might as well go online. So,
yeah.
When you're on your normal routine? What's your writing routine?
Oh man, it depends on where I'm at in a book. So right now I'm powering through trying to get a book kind of a first draft finished so I can send it to my agent. So all of my energy is just focused on that because I'm trying to get it done as fast as I can because I promised her this book in February, I think. And so, yeah, now my only routine is that any chance I get that I can sit down, I'm just working on this draft of this novel. But usually, like if I'm not on a strict deadline, I try to divide up my time between, working on a new project, editing something old, maybe working on some articles to submit around or to submit to literary magazines, short stories and things like that. But my general philosophy is that I try to follow the energy, kind of what I'm feeling like working on. I try to go there. So while my kids are in school, I sit down, I've got my butt in the chair, and I'm just trying to stay working. But what I'm working on changes depending on my feelings and my my preferences that day.
So why is it that you write? What's in it for you?
That's a good question. And I think the answer changes a lot. I think when I first started, I honestly just wrote because I loved writing and I couldn't imagine not writing. But now I think when it becomes a career, it does become a little bit more about money and about maintaining your career, which isn't a terribly bad thing, but it does just shift your motives, right? And it shifts what you write and how you work and how fast you write, all those kinds of things. I think at the heart of it, I do write because I can't imagine not writing. I can't imagine doing something else for a job. I really love it.
That's great. And when you first started writing, was it pen and paper or a typewriter, or how did the process begin?
Yeah, I've always been on a computer. I've tried to write longhand, but I don't think that my pen can't keep up with my brain. I need to be able to get the words down really, really fast, or else I get frustrated and it doesn't sound like me.
I understand what you're saying, yes, because when you're typing on the even a computer's faster than even a typewriter, because typewriter,
Yeah.
one letter at a time. Well, of course, so is a computer, but the computer comes up faster. So yeah, sometimes your brain wants you to get the thoughts out there quick. On the other hand, maybe writing longhand, you sort of self-edit. So maybe
Yes.
that's a good thing at times. I don't know. Oops, what have I done here? Oh, we'll carry on. So yeah, that's what happens. Your publishing process. Can you give us a little brief history of that?
Yeah, it's been really fun because when I first started writing, I didn't think I was going to actually be able to get my stuff published. I didn't know how you even do that. But a friend of mine just told me, like, aim for the very highest thing you can aim for, and then if that doesn't work out, maybe something else will. So I got an agent, which was a very big process that I wasn't that wasn't very easy. But and she got me a publisher, and yeah, it's just been pretty wild. I have an American publisher, and then for my most recent book, I have a Canadian publisher who did that one, and they're actually local to me in Regina here. I kept my my Canadian rights back when I sold this book to my American publisher, and just wanted to see what it was like to work with an indie press. And so I published with Radiant in Regina, and they have been really wonderful to work with.
Now, there's a number of folks that are with Radiant Press. Do you know any of the other authors?
Yes, I've been able to meet several of them. Courtney Bates Hardy, she does poetry. And I did a little book tour with, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name right now, even though I had so much fun with him. He wrote The Dark King Swallows the World and Strange Labor, Robert Penner. That's his name.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've met, and then a few of the other ones I've met online, and just kind of at different book events too. I've been able to meet them. So yeah, it's been really cool.
And the main book that brought you to our attention was, I think, We've Been Here Before. Then you start out talking about bed bugs and heartbreak. So what's the connection to them?
Yeah, I was just trying. I love metaphors. That's my favorite. I think one of my favorite literary devices is the metaphor. That book starts out with a woman who's had her heart broken, and she's understanding. She's a young woman. She's like 20, and she's understanding for the first time that it is not easy to get over somebody. And so she's thinking about how much it's like having bed bugs. How you think you've gotten rid of all of them, but then you find another one, and you think you can just maybe throw out the piece of furniture that you found the bed bug on, but there's always going to be something else that brings it up, and something else that reminds you. And yeah, it's just an impossible thing to get someone off your mind unless you relocate. And so she does at the very beginning of that book.
And that's, I think, We've Been Here Before. So what's coming up next? Can you talk about that?
Well, I'm writing a book right now. It's giving me, I'm at this stage of it where it's giving me a lot of trouble. And so I'm frustrated with it, but I know that this stage it always passes. It's always temporary. But it's another one set in Saskatchewan on a farm, and it's about this farmer who is out in the middle of the field one day, and he looks up, and a whole farm just disappears in front of him.
Oh.
And
Oh.
and so he calls his wife up on the CB radio and just like tells her what's going on, and she comes and joins him, and then they try and figure out what's going on and where this farm went, and the farmer that was in the house at the time that it disappeared. They try to locate him, and it's quite a departure from what I've written before, but it's been very fun to write. And then now I'm in the kind of getting to the end of the first draft and hating it, but I know that I will love it.
Oh, good. You hate it, but you love it. It's a love-hate relationship. Arr, God
I
damn
feel
it.
like everyone has that point at some point in their book, and mine usually comes as I'm finishing up the first draft.
Damn book, I wish I'd never started this. Oh, let's see what happens next to these people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now that you've been through the hoops, as it were, and you've learned the ropes, let's see what other things can I drag up here. What kind of tips can you pass on to, would-be writers are everywhere, and the only advice I know of is just sit down and write, but what can you tell people based on what you've gone through?
Yeah, definitely right. Like that sounds like such obvious advice, but I cannot believe how many people will text me or call me or ask me for coffee and say like, I want to be an author. What do I need to do? And I'll be like, well, what do you have? And they'll be like, I haven't started writing yet.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, go home and write something.
go write something.
But
Yes.
But my other advice would just be to like look for creative community. Look for creative community around. Violet, a second, I'm on the phone. I need you to. Sorry. Sorry, I have a kid here who's wanting to go outside. Yeah, go outside. Have fun.
Yes.
Sorry. But yeah, I would say for creative community and just like see who around you is also writing stuff. Read their pages for them. Have them read your work. Community is just like the most vital tool for any writer. You cannot do it by yourself. Or you could try, but I think you'll be miserable.
Right. Man, kids, they don't know boundaries, do they?
No.
Mom's on the telephone. Who cares? I want ice cream.
Yep. She wants to go with her friends.
Okay. And now I understand your books have been translated, some of them into Russian and Estonian?
Yeah, that's really fun. I don't have much to do with that process. My American publisher holds the world rights for my books, and so they just, every once in a while, will email me and say, this book has been translated. Here's the cover, or here's the release date, or, yeah.
Oh, okay. So now you have to go to Estonia on a book tour.
I know. I wonder who's going to pay for that.
Yeah, not me. How about this bit about being optioned for film?
Yeah, that's been really fun. There's a guy, Paul Davidson. He's been involved in films like Hunt for the Wilder People, and I think Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, just a bunch of those films. And he had asked I had asked him to blurb my book because he is also an author. And when he read it, he sent me my blurb, and then he said, I would also really love to option this. I don't know if you know that my day job is as a producer. So he's optioned the film. He's taking it out to different actors and actresses and production companies, and I'm really crossing my fingers that something comes of it, because that's not always, you don't always get anything out of an option, but it's fun to daydream.
Yeah. And I'm on your website, which is suzykrause.com, SUZ or Z, ZYKRAUSE.com, and something about the cat clue. People are giving you the gears about the cat. Do you want to explain further, or should we just leave it at that?
Well, without spoilers, I can say that there is something in the second chapter that seems like a typo. And so people will read the book, get to the second chapter, and then they'll email me and be like, oh, I found a typo. But it's not a typo. It's actually a clue. And when you get to the end of the book, it will make sense. If you read all the way to the end of the book, you'll realize it's not a typo. But a lot of people are not always willing to read all the way to the end before they want to email me and tell me that I made a mistake, which is fine.
Read the book, people. Read the book. All the way through. I think we've been here before. Suzy Krause. Couple more questions. Which is your favorite, dogs or cats?
Oh, I grew up with a dog.
A farm dog, of course.
Yeah, I was a farm kid, so we had a dog. We took on walks with us, and who swam in the sewer, so we didn't really pet him very much because he always stank, got sprayed by skunks, and always had fleas, but he was still. And?
Oh. Oop, there we go. Yeah. So that's dogs. How about your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich? Yeah. Ooh, the Italian. Have you been to the Italian Star Deli here in Regina? I
can't say that I have, so I won't.
Oh, well, you have to when you come. They just have the best. You just go there and you order the sandwich. It kind of doesn't even matter which sandwich you get there. They're just all very, very good. The Italian Star Deli.
Okay, got that? The Italian Star Deli next time you're in Regina, which is nowhere near Montreal. No matter what they try to tell you. How about one more question, Suzy? Hidden talents. Do you have any hidden talents?
Oh, man. I used to be able to play the piano really well, but I think I've kind of forgotten how to. So I don't know if that talent is hiding from me at the moment.
Oh, Okay.
But
It's a hidden talent from you and everybody else now.
yeah.
Now that you're into writing. Suzy Krause, it's been a pleasure. Good luck with this venture and many more to come. And when that movie comes out, maybe you'll invite us to the premiere performance or the premiere. No, the premiere is the head of the province. The premiere is when the thing is revealed, and Americans always call the provincial leaders the premiers of the province. And here is Premier Scott Moe or Premier so and so, but no, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. I keep explaining it to them. I used to live in Washington State for 20 years. They still don't get it. They don't get it. Oh well. Suzy, it's been grand. Thank you very much, and go let the other kid outside.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for visiting with us today. This is Talking Books and Stuff with Dennis Rimmer. Contact him at dennis@talkingbooks.tk. Thank you, and may all the good news be yours. Oh, and don't forget to check out his book, The Great Canadian Notebook, available across Canada and at amazon.ca.